I thought this week was the epitome of what we thought this basketball team could be, putting together back-to-back consecutive performances in which we make shots, we rebound the basketball, our defensive intensity and attention to scout was there both games. There's a lot of talent on this team. We've just still been trying to figure out, which way to go necessarily when we need a bucket. Some nights certain players are scoring and some nights they're not, but we're still looking for that consistency. But this week we had consistency in 7 or 8 players, and that's what you have to have. And the cream always rises to the top when you need them to. And Macy Turley is playing some of the best basketball I've ever witnessed her playing.
Well, to start with Macy, if my math is right, first 10 games of the year, she scored 20 points once. And in the last 9, she's done it 6 times. What has changed? Has it been more of a directive from you to get her more involved? Has it just been flow of the game? What has happened here in the last second half of the year?
Well, we did talk about field goal attempts for her and a couple of the other players. Well, felt like they weren't getting enough of those, but I think it's just her confidence and just her ability to get to her spot and to see the ball go in the basket makes all the difference in the world. When she's making shots, we're a different basketball team. The thing I've been most proud of is hardly any turnovers. She had 0 turnovers on Saturday. And when you handle the ball as much as she does and you don't turn it over, that just makes you even better. But offensively, she's just been on fire. Her numbers are great. She's been really reading the ball screen defense extremely well and making the right decision each and every time. So just really proud of her emergence in scoring, but also she just makes everybody around her better.
How have you seen her in this stretch where she's playing so well, and she's obviously at the top of everybody's scouting reports to start with, but now that she's playing well, maybe getting a little extra attention, how is she handling that and still trying to stay in the flow of what you guys are doing while being in the crosshairs, I guess?
Well, they're doubling her off each ball screen and things like that. But the people around her have really stepped up their game, which I think she'll be the first to tell you that that's what helps so much. Bria being able to take some of the ball handling responsibilities, get to the rim as good as she did on Saturday. Lex made shots this week. Obviously, Lacey's going to get us some offensive rebounds, second opportunities, finish around the basket. Caitlin was more efficient offensively. And then you have Alexis and Hannah coming off the bench and giving us a different type of energy. We usually switch up our defenses when they come in, and it kind of changes up the speed of the game. But I think Macy would tell you that everybody's playing better. Everybody's doing what they need to do. And obviously when other people step up, that makes her job a lot easier.
From the time she walked in the door to now, 2.5 seasons later, what has been the biggest growth for her in her game? And obviously having seen her when she was just a sprout, and then you had a little break, and then now she's back. But what has really accelerated in her development as a player?
I just think it's the mental aspect of her game. Her ability to make things slow down and be able to read defenses and make adjustments off defenses and even make adjustments off our play calls. Several times throughout a game, she'll tell me, if we will do this instead of this off this certain play, it's going to be open, coach. I can see it. And just her mentality and her IQ for the game continues to rise. But, her freshman year and even into her sophomore year, things were just really fast. But it's just like it just slows down, and she's able to really see where she can attack. She's able to see where other people can attack. And she's really grown, I think, in the mental aspect of her game as much as anything. Physically, she's always been a great player. I do think she continues to get better, and people don't give her credit maybe for how much better she's gotten. But her ability to run our basketball team at this point is something that we have no exchange for.
She's gone from 29 to 34 to 38% now from 3. Is that a product of just physical maturity, getting stronger? Is it a product of just hours and hours on the gun? Like what what has prompted sort of that steady growth for her? Because it's really this year that's felt like, especially when, if teams want to sag off her, she's just going to step back and she's gotten so consistent with it.
Well, I think part of it is that's one of the things that she and I have met about. I didn't think she sought the three enough. I mean, she's outstanding pull-up jumper. She can get to the rim. Obviously, we wanted to get to free throw line as much as possible, but I didn't feel like she was making the three-point shot as much a part of her offensive arsenal as she needed to. So I think our conversations and her willingness to understand that I want her to seek that three puts her into position to look for that more. And obviously, when she's in rhythm, she's one of the best shooters out there. I think that us playing Thursday, Saturday, instead of 11 games in 20-something days is obviously helping with the legs. And I do feel like that's a big part of the reason that we're making more shots, especially this week, is we're able to get more back into a routine and a rhythm and be able to get them on the gun and in our green light shooting drills and those type of things that help build confidence. Well,
you may have answered my next question, but just coming out of that gauntlet in January, have you gotten an overall sense from your kids that, okay, that routine, getting back into that Thursday, Saturday routine and just energy level and all of it? And I guess you guys can get in the gym and practice and not just have to just rely on film work for preparation.
Yeah, I think that it was a big difference for us for last week, especially with the travel, having to travel also, but being able to just take Monday and get some shooting in, do some different things that we've done along the way to help get our kids' confidence back in their shooting, do some individual workouts, not even do as much team stuff at the beginning of the week. And just to also allow for young ladies, they need time to go to class and they need time to do their homework. And I mean, that's an important part of what we do. And I'm very proud of them in what they do academically, but when you're playing 3 nights a week, it's very hard to get into the flow of that as well. So I just think back to a regular routine has been really good for us, and we're going to utilize as much practice time as possible to get as many shots up as we can, tweak a few things defensively that we do see on film, and just try to get ourselves back prepared, ready for the week, because it is a very difficult week for us. SEMO and UT Martin are 2 of the best teams in the league.
Welcoming in a couple of those top tier teams this week, having beaten Belmont already and sort of gotten that monkey off your back just as a collective of, okay, we've finally not just played with the top teams, we've beaten a top team in the league. Does it, and I don't know that this is maybe a front of the brain thought, but maybe off the subconscious that it's like, okay, we don't have that extra pressure of we have to get over this mountain and at some point to be able to, we can just go play. We know we're good enough and we don't have to worry about trying to get rid of gorillas.
Well, I mean, I think that's part of it, because anytime you win big games like that, it gives you confidence. But at this point with this basketball team, I do feel like this team thinks we can play with anybody and that we can beat anybody. But we also know that anybody can beat us, because we have proven that we can go 10 minutes at a time in stretches without scoring and things like that. And that's the one big hump that we've got to get over. I still talk about consistency, because we still got to prove night in to night out that we can go out and consistently play. We may not score 80 points a night, but we can't have the 4-minute to 10-minute stretches where we don't score the basketball at all. So I think going into this week, it's not even necessarily going to be about SEMO or UT Martin. It's going to be about us trying to consistently do the things that we know can help us win games, and for kids to make plays when we need them to the most. And I have put some pressure on them as of late, and they've really answered the challenge. And I will continue to pressure them for the next 6 games, because I feel like every one of them are must wins because of the way things are falling with the percentages and people not even playing, may not even play their next 6 games the way COVID is. So we're going out every night with the expectation is that we're putting ourselves in a bind if we don't win.